Hello guys, welcome back to another BeamNG Drive video, and today we are actually gonna do something a little bit different. Actually, we are gonna try out crash testing, and this is actually going to be a series, and in today's video we are gonna find out once and for all, in BeamNG Drive, is a car safer than SUV? So for this challenge I'm gonna use Gavril Roamer as the SUV and Hirochi Sunburst as the car. So yes, first I want to just say a disclaimer because this is a game and this is just a physics engine. Do not take this advice anyway seriously because I'm a YouTuber. Do not take advice from YouTubers, all right? So yes, anyway, we are going to try to find out, is a car safer than a SUV in BeamNG Drive? So yes, let's start with this and let's talk about the cars I selected. Alright, the Gavril Roamer. So this is the SUV I picked up for this testing, and this is actually made in USA between 1995 to early 2005 as I remembered. So yes, this thing actually made not for the urban environment, but this is actually made for off-roading and going through explorations in rough terrains or rural areas. But as we all know, as in real life too, many people use SUVs in urban areas as a practical vehicle. I have no idea what the hell sometimes they're thinking, but sometimes they are practical. I have no idea. But anyway, this is the SUV I picked, and this is actually the road sport version. As I remember, this is the last versions of the Gavril Roamer. This exact model is built in 2005. So yes, we are gonna test this out and let's see how this goes. Alright, next we have the Hirochi Sunburst, a sedan from Japan. This is actually made in from 2009 to 2014 as I remembered, and very close years to the Gavril Roamer as well, so I just want to test these things out. So yes, this thing actually comes up with different type of drivetrains, all-wheel drive, rear wheel drive, front wheel drive, different type of engine, different type of gearbox, many configurations. But we are gonna use the first generation of this car, and very basic engine type with rear wheel drive. So yes, let's see how this challenge goes, and you guys can pick a team SUV or team blue, the cars. All right, anyway, that's enough of talking. Let's see what type of test we are going to do. Alright guys, so for the tests we have direct impact at different speeds, and also we have side impact. Then we also have the rollover test, and also we have the test between both of these vehicles to see what would happen if they run into each other. Alright guys, so yes, the front end is actually fucked up, to be honest. It's normal when it's come to the front end collision, but if you guys saw in the slow motion footage, everything was fine in the inside, every other thing as well, but the A pillar is actually moved a little bit to the back and bent the roof as well. So that's not that much of a good sign, to be honest, but otherwise everything is fine. I guess you guys can see it right here in the before and after the crash, so you guys can easily see the bent A pillar and the roof as well. So yes, let's move on to the next vehicle and let's see how it goes. Alright, guys, so surprisingly, the car actually did better than the SUV. To be honest, it's perfectly good, like almost a 5-star rating I can give, because the front end is always getting fucked up in front end collision, but the cabin, the driver cockpit area is very safe. And as you guys can easily notice, well, the A pillar did not move like in the SUV. I think the main reason is the weight advantage, because the SUV is way heavier than the car. And I think the Team Blue is getting the win for front end collision at 40 miles per hour. But we have so much different testing, and we have to do the same testing as this at 60 miles per hour. So yes, let's see how that goes. Alright, guys, so at 60 miles per hour, it's worse than I thought, to be honest. The front end is basically gone, and the front wheels are also moved to back. The chassis is bent and broken. Due to that, the drive shaft is also broken. The air pillar, I don't even have to compare it, because it's totally gone, it's bent. And you guys can easily see the dashboard is also moved toward the driver's seat. So it's pretty much worse than I thought for the 60 miles per hour crash. But let's move on to the Hirochi Sunburst and let's see how that's performed. Alright, guys, this is much more similar to the SUV. So as you guys can see, the A pillar is actually bent way similar to the SUV, as well as the bending of the roof. So the deciding factor is actually going to be the dashboard is moved much more than the SUV. So I didn't know I do have to get this much technical about in BeamNG Drive. But if you guys watched the SUV at 60 miles per hour, you guys can see the dashboard in the SUV didn't move that much comparing to the car. So the car actually pushed the steering wheel very much closer to the driver's seat. So as the deciding factor of that, I guess the car lose, the SUV won in this one. So yes, let's move on to the next challenge and let's see how that goes. To be honest, it's not a challenge, sorry about that. Let's move on to the next test. side, so you guys can see the damage that done to the SUV. So yes, it's mostly affected to the bottom half and for the doors as well. So yes, let's talk about the doors. It's worse than I thought, but surprisingly the A pillar and the C pillar actually managed to survive the crash. Only not so surprisingly, the B pillar actually bent and took the damage. And also having the height advantage, the crash only affected the lower half of the vehicle. So if we count the passengers, they are very safe, except for the driver might be, because his seat actually moved away from the door. That's actually a really good sign, but it's moved further than we thought. So yes, a little bit worse than we thought, but from the outside that is not that much of worse. So yes, let's move on to the Hirochi Sunburst and let's see how that's performed. As you guys can see, the result is very much similar to the SUV, and you guys can easily see the doors are bent in similar way, and as well as the bottom half of the car's chassis or the body. Yes, its result is very much similar, but if you guys check the slow motion footage, you guys can easily see there is much less movement of the crash testing dummy in the car. So surprisingly, it's little bit safer than the SUV if we compare with the crash testing dummy's movement. And you guys can see right here, it's bent inward in the bottom half of the car, but nothing much moved inside. So yes, I guess the car won this challenge. Alright guys, it's worse than I expect at 60 miles per hour. So yes, it's actually did the same thing to the bottom half of the car, damaged the B pillar much higher than I expect, and damaged little bit to the A pillar as well, little bit to the C pillar as well. But the surprising part is it actually moved the body from the chassis a little bit, and it affected the other side of the car as well. If you guys notice, the other side of the B pillar is also moved very much. The dashboard is gone, the steering wheel is fucked up, and easily you guys can see the seat is moved unbelievably. So yes, it's worse than I thought, but wait until you see the Hirochi Sunburst. Alright guys, so for a second I thought the SUV performed way worse in this crash test, but here comes the Hirochi Sunburst and it did worse than the SUV. So yes, as you guys can easily see, the front wheel is broken, and you guys can see the same situation right here. The lower half of the vehicle is way bent, and if you guys notice, the entire vehicle is bent in half, not like the SUV, because SUV only had the impact area bent way inside, but this one actually bent way harder than I thought, because this thing has a monocoque chassis. Due to that, as you guys can see right here, the opposite side is way bent and moved away from the drivetrain system as well. So yes, everything is moved in here. You guys can easily see what happened to the Hirochi Sunburst right here. So yes, in this one, the Gavril Roamer won the crash test. Alright guys, so in the rollover crash test, we are looking forward for the strength of the roof and as for the pillars. As you guys know, as the A pillar, B pillar and C pillar to the protect the passengers inside. So yes, let's see how tough is the Gavril Roamer. Alright guys, as you guys can see, from the first moment the car touched the ground, the front driver side wheel was just snapped and thrown away. I guess that's how it goes. That's not a good sign, to be honest. And also you guys can easily see the A pillar of the passenger side was bent with the roof. Now it's the same shape. I don't know what the hell happened, but from apart from that, the other shapes are holding really good. But the worst part was the not the passenger, the dummy. The testing dummy was thrown outside and got crushed by the same vehicle it was in. So I don't know whether I should be concerned about that, because the dummy wasn't wearing any seatbelt or anything like that, and we broke the dummy at the process because the hand was snapped and it was just flying off into the void, I guess. Yes, that's what happened. So let's get into the Hirochi Sunburst and let's see how it performs. Alright, so the Hirochi Sunburst actually did really well. So let's talk about the dummy first, and it's the same story as the Gavril Roamer, and the dummy managed to fly off. I guess that thing wasn't wearing any seatbelt, so let's forget about the dummy for a second. And you guys can easily see the roof got little bit of dent, like the driver side air pillar just moved inside a little bit, but otherwise everything is in good condition. The wheels are still attached. They are bent a little bit, but still attached. And in from the interior, nothing much changed whatsoever, so it's a good sign. And I'm guessing it's a win for the Hirochi Sunburst in rollover crash test. So yes, let's move on to the next one. Alright guys, this one was really satisfying to watch, and the crash was done at 40 miles per hour. You guys can see both of the cars looks really in good condition comparing to the crash. But let's talk about the Gavril Roamer first. It's the SUV, and you guys can see it's only took the damage to the front grille and the lights and the lower bumper compared to the car, and even the hood is in a little bit of good condition. Nothing happened to the like the inside of the car, like the interior, the cockpit. Nothing moved whatsoever, no damage to the glasses as well. But if you look at the car, the Hirochi Sunburst, you guys can easily see cracked windshield, broken side windows as well. The air pillar moved a little bit, the roof was bent due to that. And if you guys watch this slow motion footage, you guys can see the dashboard is also moving a little bit comparing to the SUV. So yes, this win goes to the SUV, the Gavril Roamer. So let's move on to the next one. It's the same crash at 60 miles per hour. Alright guys, so this is a clear win to the Gavril Roamer, and you guys can easily see what happened to the Hirochi Sunburst at 60 miles per hour and what happened to the Gavril Roamer. So yes, the Gavril Roamer is rock solid, to be honest, when it comes to crashing with smaller vehicles like cars. So yes, it's very safe inside. You guys can easily see nothing moved at all. Even the dashboard is in very good condition. It shaked a little bit in the slow motion footage, but nothing much happened. But if you check the slow motion footage inside of the Hirochi Sunburst, it's a different story. You guys can see easily it's in the worst condition at all from the all the tests we did, and the car is a little bit like gone, totally gone, like condemned at the moment. The steering wheel is in the driver's stomach if there was a driver. So yes, this is a loss for the Hirochi Sunburst. The win goes to the Gavril Roamer. So yes, it's time to count the points. So we had four different type of categories for these crashes, and first we had the front end, then we had side impact, then we had roll over, then we had direct impact with each others. So three of these challenges actually had not the challenges, sorry, crashes had different speed limits, legal speed limits, 40 and 60 miles per hour. So let's start with the front end collision. So yes, at 40 miles per hour, surprisingly the car did way better than the SUV, but at 60 miles per hour, the SUV performed way better than the car. So inside the impact, same story again. At 40 miles per hour, car performed. To be honest, it was actually, I was surprised with that result. The car performed way better than the SUV, but again 60 miles per hour, the SUV took that point. So this time it's 2 for 2. Then in the rollover challenge, there was no speed limit to that because it's just around 35 to 50 miles per hour, and the car took the winning because I guess it's thanks to the less weight comparing to the SUV. Basically didn't crush the roof. So yes, next we have the direct impact, and in this one, without a surprise, the SUV won at both speed. I guess it had the height advantage when it comes to colliding with a car. So from 4 points, the SUV won and the car only took 3 points. So it was a close one, but without a surprise, the SUV won because it's basically a mountain with wheels. So yes, that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoy it, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe because all the YouTube stuff, blah blah blah. And if you guys are new to this channel, this is first time I'm doing something like this. I am a little bit scared to record something like this because first thing first, do not take this advice as legal advice or something like real life scenarios. Do not take this because I am comparing something in a game or a physics engine. So yes, do not take this advice seriously, but it's just for fun to find out if a car or the SUV would survive better in BeamNG Drive comparing to each others. So surprise the SUV won, and I'm thinking like we can do like old and new, or like sedan versus hatchback, or different type of crashes. To be honest, I'm a little bit hyped about this series as well as I'm scared. So yes, if you guys enjoy this, don't forget to leave a comment what should we do next, and that's it basically. So see you guys in the next one. Until then, peace out. Bye bye.